like saying all the things that the fans know that you're like the boss isn't going to be happy about him saying.
Basically, if the shit on Talking Smack was on Raw, which I guess I'll just say after you ask it, like he would be CM Punk Part 2.
Right.
Like if they just let him, that's him dropping mics. Yeah. Instead, we just see it in some B footage.
So we actually did see it on SmackDown.
Yeah.
That was the clip I sent you where he basically did a very small version of that after John Cena and Nikki Bella won their tag team match. So, the B show is the show.
The B show?
Speaking of shows.
Oh shit, have we been recording this whole time?
We've been recording
it's banter.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Okay.
Explain to us why we're drunk, Brittany.
Because it's Friday, March 17th, 2017, and you're listening to a special St. Patrick's Day edition of On the Heels Wrestling Podcast. I'm Brittany.
I'm Ray.
I am still Kyle.
Every Friday at noon,
I think.
We, the people who used to work together, will give you consistent bite-sized commentary on the WWE's ever-expanding lineup of programming and other awesome stuff that happens on wrestling.
I think it's weird that we have two veiled call-outs in our intro script, and now one of them is fucking Jack Sparrow. I'll take it, though.
Yeah.
So, sometimes we just recap, sometimes we conversate, sometimes we debate. I had to break it. It's killing Ray over there. I see it. It's like fucking, he's got the 7-year itch. Sometimes we interview wrestlers from right here. Looking at my hand in Seattle, Washington.
Thank you. He did it even in Chicago.
This week we're going to look at where we're headed towards WrestleMania. I asked for this roundtable. We were talking about what could we talk about here, and I was thinking, hey, knowing
that Kyle had been gone for a couple months.
Yeah, I'd kind of like to go over the whole thing because I didn't get to do a lot of podcasts.
There's a lot of build-up that you missed.
And there's build-up that I saw that we didn't, I didn't get to talk to you guys about, and I was listening at home and yelling at the clouds like fucking Homer Simpson's dad, just like, what the fuck are they doing?
Back into the bush.
This is actually a good podcast for people that are going to see WrestleMania. It's the only pay-per-view they see.
Oh man, that is how Ray is totally going to market this.
Cool. Good job. Sweet. So, first on the list, let's just rewind all the way back to Royal Rumble.
Well, and even then, let's caveat, we don't even know what the full WrestleMania card is. And I think by this point last year, we had a full, huge idea of what everything in WrestleMania was. There were still some, surprise spots that were going to happen.
Yeah, last year we were complaining about how known it seemed to be.
Right. We can never be happy.
Well, yeah, that's always true.
It's the plight of a wrestling fan.
Yeah, compared to the year before, where there was so much uncertainty around Lesnar, right?
Yeah.
And then we still were convinced Roman was going to win.
Well, yeah, and I think that's all that happened
from Rollins, right? That the next year later, it was just like, we all know what's up. So, for me, going back to the Royal Rumble, watching that thing, because Royal Rumble was 2 weeks after my kid was born, so I watched it 9 days later.
And you somehow didn't get it spoiled.
That's right. The baby helps with that.
Because we're sitting there, we're messaging you on Facebook, dude, you gotta watch this. You have to watch, I forget what the other match was, but it's you have to watch, the Cena AJ match.
Oh my god.
Watch Cena AJ, and then watch the Rumble. And he's texting us his reactions, and I know you and I are waiting on bated breath for fucking number 30, and he's just lol, Kale Salad. The most Kyle possible response we could have gotten.
Yeah, so,
wait, this is dumb.
It was of course, a fucking course, right? Of course, fucking Kale Salad comes strolling out, right? BALEE DAT. But,
BALEE DAT.
Just the way 26 through 30 went, which was obviously weird. But then, the fact that at that pay-per-view, and I know the circumstances were totally different, but if you just look at the highest level, if you were just someone who, used to watch 5 years ago, popped back in, hey, what happened in Royal Rumble 2017? Oh, Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble and John Cena's champ. Weird. That's too easy to make, and, I know, having watched the last year, that it actually is weird that it went that way.
Tangent.
Holy McFuck, right? So, McFuck for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah!
McFuck! McFuck, let it go!
Yeah. Let's go have a
What
green
did he used to call fucking Sheamus? What did he used to always say?
Fella?
Yeah!
Fella!
So dumb. Alright.
Yeah.
I'd kick you in the arse.
You had something.
I had a thing. I was just thinking about that. Someone who comes in and watches wrestling out of nowhere. Because I think I did it especially. I came in not knowing anything. I'm why the fuck is the guy from the real world on WrestleMania 26? Right? So I was thinking about that the other week when they had the whole segment between KO and Jericho at the very beginning. And Jericho comes out, seamlessly transitions to face, by the way. He comes out, he's hey! And he just does the Jericho face voice. And you just know, immediately...
And, everyone is ready, wanting, and waiting for it, and just happy to
like
oblige.
it just happens.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't even have to try. It's like the time when he came back and debuted and he just walked in the ring, didn't say anything for 4 minutes, and then is immediately heel. I've never seen anyone else do this.
I felt sad, man. He's talking about being heartbroken.
Right. Oh man, it was so good. But like this whole segment, I'm just watching this where he's like, my best friend used to be Sami Zayn. You know what? And I kicked his ass, and I don't give a shit about you. And I'm like, if I had no idea what was happening,
explained everything.
They explained everything. But even then, I'm like, why are two Canadians fighting for the U.S. title? This is so weird. Like, it's kind of interesting. Like, it's a lot of what makes these matches cool is how they're being built up and all of the history there. Like,
well, all right, I agree, but we're still going through the part where I'm shell-shocked after Royal Rumble.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right.
Remember the part where we were chatting about it a couple of weeks ago. All the three of us, and I was listening to the podcast like on a 2-week delay, and then I was basically making fun of these two for like getting all kinds of shit wrong.
That was great too. You're like, oh man, you guys were so wrong on this.
And the funniest part was like there were some things that you're both so certain about that totally went the other way.
It's like there's no way John Cena's not going to be in the main event.
Yeah. And it was just like wow. And so that period like in between Fastlane and Rumble where we were just like, we don't know what's happening at all, right?
Yeah, like Elimination Chamber was actually a surprise.
Yeah.
Because what we were saying after Cena won, you were like very confident that Cena was going to hold the title all the way to WrestleMania.
Well, yeah.
I'm listening to that
he
podcast.
just got it.
I'm listening to that
Literally less
podcast,
than 2 weeks.
and I'm looking at a picture of fucking Bray Wyatt shit-eating grin holding the belts. I was like, this is
It
ridiculous.
was a shock.
Right
No,
now.
a lot of us didn't see it coming just because he just won
It was the anti-Vince McMahon. I was at WWE.com looking at the page with the championships, and everyone's holding the belt, and the top two titles are held by two big, chubby, bearded slobs. And I was like, this is not what Vince wants. He wants those shaved chest, square jaws. What's happening?
It's really interesting because things like we bitch about wrestling all the time, right? Like there's this thing sucks, whatever. But it's like the wrestling isn't wrestling video where it's like most wrestling is dumb. But when it's good, it's great.
Amazing. Yeah.
It's great. And this is one of
magical.
those like watching Cena drop a title and having the other guy go over on him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you watched that match in at Elimination Chamber, but like Cena got pinned by Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Damn.
And,
Which is
and he
insane.
wasn't even the last guy.
No, it was basically down to AJ and Bray Wyatt, so you knew the title was going to someone else.
I
It was
remember I heard
incredible.
about that part.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing was crazy. Like for me, it was weird for like I feel like this is one I've seen as most deserved titles.
Yes.
Like
The 2 years he's had,
Yeah.
what he's done for everyone else in the company, bringing them
but
up.
he's held the belt longer over like less justifiable circumstances,
Right.
right? And so it was then weird that he then lost it that quickly. So it's like I like that he got the nod, but it was like wow, that was relatively brief, you know.
Yeah. That made me feel a little sad, but I mean, it's John Cena. He's fine.
He's
Yeah,
fine.
no, he's fine. Like
He's
it was
fine.
more just like here you go, your time with Ric Flair. But
Yeah.
like so that whole thing was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Then you know, just the whole emotional sway of like I'm getting really excited personally for Rollins versus Triple H. I am not even thinking at all about the part where fucking
no.
Samoa Joe is going to happen.
Oh,
right?
no.
I do not even consider the part that Rollins is going to show up on fucking NXT.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Oh,
insane.
that was
And
dope.
then I'm not going to even
It's called TakeOver, right?
and then the part
What
where
the
you
fuck?
see his Instagram and he's just like, you know, how? In
Yeah.
a picture of his knee, and you're just like, my God. right?
Like, it can't be two fucking WrestleManias
And
in a
then,
row.
just like last time, though, weirdly, they found a way to make a good storyline out of that, but like, man, that sucks.
Yeah, so just for context, for those who haven't been watching, you have this big build-up between Seth Rollins and Triple H, the guy who screwed him out of the title multiple times.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's been happening for a while since, like, Owens got the Universal title. Seth Rollins has been taking it out on Stephanie as, like, the gateway to Triple H, right? Because
Yes.
Triple H isn't on TV every day. So, it's been built up for a while. Everyone knows where this is going, right?
Yeah.
And then just a simple, stupid, like, your foot wasn't underneath you.
Yeah.
And you're fucking done.
So he just, like, I don't know if it was it a tear or...
It was like partial sprain to his
Like, enough
MCL.
that he's, you know, obviously somehow going to have some... Unless he gets hurt again, he's
they're
going to be
doing
WrestleMania.
PT montages,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be good unless something seriously goes wrong.
Yeah.
But even if it does, they'll find a way to fix it.
Yeah, he'll
Yeah,
have
like
some...
if he gets injured, I feel like they'll still have him at WrestleMania, and they'll just have Triple H come out and literally sledgehammer him in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, and that'll be that.
Which is good, because Triple H has been losing for a number of years.
Well, I mean like a match. Like, they may just have... Because they've been very vague about that, at least so far, right? We're 3 Raws away from WrestleMania, or 2 Raws away from WrestleMania, and...
enough.
Sleep deprivation, whatever. That, like,
I don't know what day it is. I think it's St. Patrick's Day.
They're dancing around it. They're saying, hey... I will see you at WrestleMania, whether it's a match or not, right?
Yeah, they're being very cautious with their wording.
But which is smart. So yeah, I mean that's a storyline I want. There's so many storylines that I want. So it's weird that things are so crazy and over the top because like I've been wanting, or everyone's been wanting Jericho Owens for a while. I'm so happy that's
happening,
right?
Which is great. This is going to be amazing.
Goldberg versus Lesnar. The only thing I don't like about Goldberg versus Lesnar is that there's. And, this happened 2 years ago with Lesnar. We were convinced the match would go one way, and then it didn't. Mm-hmm. This time around, we don't even have a briefcase, as far as I know, to interfere.
No, because Dean Ambrose cashed it in immediately.
Right. Yeah. So, I feel like it just seems so clear for both in-ring analysis reasons and shitty wrestling fan reasons that Lesnar is going to win. Yeah. Right? Like, he's been smushed the last 2 times, if you count the Royal Rumble as a smush.
It was a smush.
Which I count, right?
Plus their original match.
Right.
Smushed.
Yeah. Plus the part where... you just know, shitty wrestling fan-wise, that Lesnar's got a longer contract and is less part-time than Goldberg, right? Mm-hmm. You just assume that, okay, he'll go in there, he'll win the title, he'll kind of fucking jack off till some summer and slam middle of the thing. Yeah, not show up, whatever,
Shit
right?
got weird.
And then he'll give it up through some bullshit means, and, Goldberg will go away, and Lesnar will be back to basically being what he was before, right? Yeah. Like, that... feels so safe that
I'm not excited.
Yeah, but then if you think about it,
we weren't excited about the main event last year either.
Yeah, they've fucking with shit so much.
Triple H versus Roman.
Right.
So the look that Ray had was, what was the main event?
What was the main event?
Right, which
Triple
made
H
my
versus
point.
Roman and was that Rollins came in at the end of that?
No, Triple H versus Roman.
Yeah, was last year. The main event.
And Rollins came...
No, Rollins came out the year before.
That was the year before. Sorry.
No. I don't mean Rollins came out as part of the match. When did he make his return in Pedigree Roman?
It was February of last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was a pay-per-view after Mania.
Yeah.
I just remember Seth Rollins being super jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was basically did he just beat Sheamus and then everyone was like, oh, boom.
Oh yeah, it was Lesnar versus Roman.
No, I feel like it was WrestleMania. It doesn't matter. We'll look it up after.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Rollins
the point was there was confetti
Roman
everywhere.
sucks.
Roman sucks. Rollins beat him. We all were happy, right? Yeah. So maybe some crazy shit like that could happen. Like my X factor is gonna be maybe fucking the demon comes out and fucks with something.
Right, Finn Balor.
No.
At this point, Finn Balor is not going to be at Mania.
Yeah.
But, I will say that defiantly.
And also, he doesn't fit against Lesnar. That's just crazy, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know.
Finn Balor's coming back Monday after.
I'm happy to see that feud end. I think they can put on one good match, somehow. But then that'll be over.
Yeah.
Right? And then, three major encounters of basically the same exact wrestler is enough. Right?
Yeah. So here's the thing too, just to keep in mind, set your expectations super low for that match because Goldberg at his prime, once he got the title, once he got the WCW title, and they actually booked him in longer matches. Dude can't wrestle long matches.
Right.
They're not good. And then when he wrestled Brock in a standard match, it was not good. These were bad matches. So I don't really... I'm not going to...
I feel like with something like WrestleMania, you have enough of a heads up that as wrestlers, you can plan things.
They did. They had enough heads up the last time they fought at WrestleMania. And it was a shit match.
And I think that there's enough history here that whatever road agents are fucking assigned to this match know this.
I hope so.
And they're going to do what they can. I have to have faith, man. Fuck it.
Are you saying road agents because Mr. Fitness taught you that?
Yes.
Thank you, Fitness.
Thanks,
yeah,
and they're both done their prime.
Remember a couple years ago, 4 days before WrestleMania, we learned that Lesnar signed a new contract extension, which also served to remove all the doubt and speculation from the match. Because then we were convinced, right? And then we were all proven wrong. But if something like that can happen, like if they somehow came out and then said, oh, Goldberg signed a 6-month extension, that could maybe introduce some whatever. But as it stands right now, it's hard not to think it'll go a certain way, so that makes it a little less fun, right?
Well, they've said, like, Goldberg has one title run left in him, which is a nebulous phrase. So it's like you'd have no idea how long Goldberg's actually going to be around.
But the brand and Beast Incarnate and all of that Heyman-esque shit about Lesnar goes away if he loses for a third time. I mean,
right, Lesnar is hurting. Like, there needs to be something. The guy that took out The Undertaker looks weak.
Let's transition. Let's use that segue, if I may, invoke segue law or whatever,
and
say Roman versus Taker.
What the fuck?
So,
so Roman is unstoppable, right? Like Roman takes.
Do you want Roman to join the list as the other person who could beat Undertaker?
If by WWE logic, by Vince McMahon logic, Roman Reigns will be the guy to join Brock Lesnar as the only people who have beaten the Undertaker.
Right.
Yep.
I think like everyone wanted to see Cena versus Undertaker.
Everyone, absolutely.
Like it was inevitable because Cena is the top of the card and has been for a long time, and you want the top guy to face the Undertaker.
Yes.
That's like bigger than a title.
I trust
that you
Cena
get to be the guy
be able to put old man Undertaker over.
Cena can put anyone over.
Yeah.
Like we've been watching it for 2.5 years.
Yeah,
right. Cena just putting people over. Like
even at Raw, 2 Raws ago. When you saw like the Undertaker come out and see Braun come out, or Braun standing there with the Undertaker, the crowd is chanting "Holy shit!"
because they all think it's going to be Taker versus Braun.
That would be fun.
Which would have been amazing.
I would have been cool with it.
It would have been hard to believe that Taker could take him down, but mystical powers.
It's
a wizard,
Taker,
right?
Yeah,
he's an undead wizard,
and also he has a submission hold.
That's right,
and it's fucking dope.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I just feel like it's weird, and it might be his last match, and that's a shitty way to end.
All right, so here's what could happen. Salvageable, but I doubt it'll happen at all. Is you got to trust that Vince loves the Undertaker more than Roman for all his years of service. Yeah. Gives him that last inexplicable win because come on, like wrestling nerd wise, Roman shouldn't lose the Undertaker at this stage, but Undertaker wins. And this is the catalyst to Roman coming back Raw after WrestleMania different in some way. And we finally shed the skin of leftover sloppy thirds Shield leftovers. Like, leave that shit behind, right? It won't happen, but dude, we want it.
Oh my God, Kyle, I love that idea so much that I don't want to marry it because it's going to break my heart.
Yep. Or another way is he, literally almost fucking kills the Undertaker. Worse than Lesnar. And then people actually hate him, and he does it as a heel.
This would be a great opportunity for Roman Reigns to turn heel.
Yes.
Because everyone roots for the Undertaker, right?
Right. Exactly. And
even when you knew that the Undertaker was going to win, you still magically came in wanting the Undertaker to win because you want the streak to remain alive.
So he acts resentful about the fans wanting the Undertaker to win, and that's his catalyst.
This would be amazing.
I will get married to that.
Yes.
Right, and if Roman Reigns beats Undertaker, play on that for a heel turn and say, well, I beat the Undertaker.
I beat him too.
I'm the greatest. What the hell?
I like it.
I can beat anybody.
Then he can
I beat the Undertaker.
Lesnar,
I like it. I'm worried that it's not going to happen.
I know it's not going to happen.
I mean, also at some point, what's left? We have to trust in the fact that they just can't let things ride out too long unless it's Cena anyways, so they tweak the knobs. So at some point, they're just going to get stir crazy with Roman and change something because they're bored, right?
Yeah.
So but that's what we're left to. So
I feel like if it's not Cena Taker this year, Cena and Taker has to be WrestleMania 34, right? It's
if it happens, maybe.
By that point, Cena's going to be wrestling super part-time because he'll be casting 5 movies a year.
And Taker's
getting old.
It's 2018. He's been wrestling since the early 80s.
He's 50.
Yeah.
But Cena just turned 40, and Cena's doing great.
Well, he's Super Cena.
So, yeah, he is. He heals in 2 months from a giant ball of fluid tear on his arm. Speaking of Cena, I did not ever think that I would see Cena in an intergender tag match on the grandest stage of them all.
So is this Nikki's last match? Because it feels
I think
like
it
it's
is.
Nikki's match.
I think it is. I think it's definitely her last match. I don't think her neck is healing as well as they probably hoped.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, okay, I get it.
And honestly, it's fine. Like, the division's kind of passed her by, even though she's put in a lot of work to get better on her own.
And she's brought in a lot of fan base from outside. Like, we talk a lot of shit about Total Bellas and Total Divas, but she's done a lot.
Yeah.
To bring in a female audience. There's a reason that they're pushing women on the roster. It's because women are watching.
Yeah.
And as much as we hate to admit it, where are those women coming from?
And they can have this match, and then, Miz and Cena can do a spot for a couple of matches after.
Right, which is like we were saying previously, like Miz versus Cena for the world title. Was like, I would actually like to see that again.
Yeah.
It's so weird, too, because, like, fast forward, like, rewind to back in the day when he fought
when they were the main event,
yeah. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? And now it's like, dude, Miz is legit.
Miz is legit.
He is confident in his character. Like, he's not... The one thing I was telling Brittany was, like, before, Miz was just loud in his character. Like, this is my character. I'm just going to do it loud.
I'm awesome. I have blow-up awesome letters as my entrance.
But, like, now, there's a certain confidence in his character to where he's not saying, like, I'm the Miz and I'm awesome. It's like, I'm the Miz. I'm an A-lister. I'm one of the best people on the roster.
I have a beautiful wife.
Yeah. I'm, like,
he's explaining to you why he's awesome.
I feel like he's been like this for about a
couple of years, yeah. Like,
no, it's been a solid year, the last year, basically since Maurice was brought on. Since his ridiculous coat last year. Last year was the year of the coats. Zack Ryder had a crazy coat, Miz had a crazy coat.
They do it every year, like WrestleMania, like 28, whatever the one that Daniel Bryan lost in like 18 seconds. Like Cody Rhodes had a cape. Yeah. Fucking Daniel Bryan had a cape.
So
Miami.
Miz is definitely killing it. I feel like that match, if with Cena for a title, would totally be worth it. I just still have this vibe that, like, he still isn't over with the bookers all the way.
Who?
Right?
Miz? Oh,
yeah. Like, he's let CM Punk, to go with your, eternal question quip from another episode. He's still, like, CM Punk knocking at the door, demanding the respect, worthy of it, but hasn't, like, rested it yet, right? It's kind of like, I don't know, like, they're just not totally comfortable with it yet. But
I feel like what they might have done...
he will force it to happen.
I feel like what they might have done was basically told Miz, like, hey, your future at this company, you're clearly not going to be the top guy. We have a lot of people coming up from NXT. We want you. You're basically going to be in the mid-card. Yeah. And this is one of those, like, I'm going to prove to you that I could do better, and just doing what he can with what he's given.
Yeah.
Like, you're in the mid-card, you don't have a title, what can you do?
If they let him have that mic drop, then it'll soar, right?
I mean, he's been having that. That's the whole reason Talking Smack is on. It's like Miz goes on and talks shit to Daniel Bryan, talks shit about John Cena. Like, he's basically just talking shit about everybody. Like, I love everything the Miz is doing.
Yep.
Right now.
It just needs to propel him, though. I feel like it's still not getting him the rest of the way. Like, I want him to get that booking that validates all that, because he's right.
Yeah.
He's doing the same thing CM Punk did, where he was just going to say, fuck it, I'm going to put on good spots regardless, and then, be so good they can't ignore you kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So, that'll be interesting. Does Maurice, like, have wrestling experience? Like, I don't know. But,
I mean, she does. She was the
hurt,
longest reigning women's champion. She just hasn't wrestled since she got back.
Oh, okay, cool. I, missed that phase.
Yeah, it was back during the, 2006 to 2011.
The era that nobody watched.
Yeah, exactly. The forgotten era.
Cool. So...
The tag team scene on both shows...
Well, hold on. I don't think we really talked about Bray Orton.
Oh, shit. You're right.
So
what is there to talk about?
I mean, let's just... It happens. Holy crap.
Here's the sad thing is, like, they didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
It was really only a few months. Like, I was... and also, they didn't commit. So, like, one thing I loved about when Daniel Bryan joined the Wyatts is every week, win or lose, Daniel Bryan would sacrifice himself to Bray Wyatt. And so when he finally turned, it was like, well, yeah, he's getting his ass kicked every week. There's a reason for it. Bray Wyatt has done nothing but good things for Randy Orton.
Right.
He got him a title. He's treated him with respect.
He's welcomed with open arms.
He turned on his own brother for him.
Right. And what does Randy Orton do? He digs up a grave and lights his house on fire.
What the fuck? He committed arson.
Right.
That's a crime.
I thought this was a family-friendly show.
I think you guys are underestimating the power of the voices.
In his head.
Fuck. Yes. God damn.
They're strong.
Remember when we were talking about the whole anti-heel, anti-hero thing?
Yeah.
Like, he's being a horrible person.
He is.
And he's a face.
Well, they're both faces, aren't they?
No. They're both, they were both
Bray
heels.
Wyatt's a bit of a tweener. Like, he's a face, but he's a face in a way that no one else on the roster is a face.
In the last few months, he hasn't done anything evil, which is more reason why Randy Orton betrayed him.
Right.
Really evil.
He's creepy.
Yeah.
And there's a big unknown about him because it's like he's that like cultist southern like leader, right? Yeah. So it's like you don't know what to expect. So there's that question there. But like he's not doing anything evil, as you totally said. So it's like he can't be a heel. Like or John Cena is more of a heel than Bray Wyatt is.
Yeah. I will say this. I think it would have made more sense story-wise adding Luke Harper into the match.
Yeah, where the fuck is Luke Harper?
So basically...
You know where he'll end up? Battle Royal.
Yeah. So...
Because I was thinking about this. I keep cutting off. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Because I kept thinking about this. I'm looking like there's a lot of one-on-one matches on this card.
Yeah.
You've got Brock and Goldberg. You've got Jericho. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bray and Orton. You've got the women triple threat for Raw, but, it's still small. Mm-hmm. You've got Taker Orton. The Taker Roman. Taker Orton. I'd love that way more, too.
Yeah.
Dean and Corbin, most likely. American Alphas versus Usos. Like, Seth versus Triple H. You've got all of these singles matches.
Yeah.
So you're going to the reason they have this Andre the Giant Battle Royal
is to make everybody else happy.
Is to throw everyone else on the card.
Yeah.
Like, it's what happened to Harper. Okay, well, his Twitter account is awesome, but he got regulated too, battling with Shaq.
Well, it is Friday. Do you know what that means?
It's Friday.
You know what that means.
You know what that... Oh, God. Like, I just want him to walk on TV and... Have you seen his Twitter account?
To follow him.
Luke Harper?
Oh, yeah. Have you seen it?
I made a note to check it after previous podcast.
Just follow it. We'll show you after the podcast.
Okay. So the other thing, to me, let's just talk real quick about that Battle Royal. Like, tell me why Braun Strowman doesn't win.
He should. He absolutely should. There's nobody, unless Braun Strowman has a match.
The actual fuck.
Yeah, so I just brought up Luke Harper's Twitter, and Kyle's like, what the actual fuck?
If you're listening to this podcast...
You really need to follow Luke Harper on Twitter.
It is the best Twitter account on Twitter.
Because it's Friday. And you know what that means? Why we need to type that in the script. Fucking Luke Harper is the best.
He's only tweeted 255 times, and it looks like most of them aren't telling you what day it is.
Well,
not even for a year.
Well, it's okay because you know what it means.
You know what it means.
Apparently I do.
But okay, to go back to the whole Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt thing, I just want to finish with one last thought. So Randy Orton took himself out of the match, and they had this battle royal. Luke Harper pretty much wins, but according to the dirt sheets and the internet, WWE didn't feel confident in putting him in the main event.
Okay.
For whatever reason. But it would have made more sense because Luke Harper is now going to fight his, old mentor. Well, Randy Orton has to get involved because he has to defend him. And that's a more interesting match and a better story.
You know what's also interesting about this whole thing? Was that there was a chance that Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble and then wasn't going to be in the main event because there was that whole 3 weeks of speculation. Right? Yes. I can't face him, blah 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 blah, and it was like, what the fuck is the Royal Rumble for then? I was pissed,
yes.
Right? Yeah. You heard this.
Yeah.
I was very pissed. And then you have Daniel Bryan no, I think we should respect the rules of the Royal Rumble and that this guy should main event. I'm like, it's fucking Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Do you not understand the irony there?
Yeah.
Batista?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
That would have been a great moment if Batista ever came back to do that.
Yeah, I'd be like, that's funny you mentioned that.
Yeah, just walks in, as Drax.
Batista versus Orton, let's go.
Yeah.
That's your main event right there.
So, okay, we've covered that stuff.
I'm legit excited about American Alphas and the Usos.
Yes, the Usos as heels.
That's for real. Do we know that?
I think so.
Yeah, they've been building
It's not
up
like we're pre-recording this or anything.
Yeah, we don't know for sure, but we think we know for sure. But either way, Usos as heels.
It's definitely St. Patrick's Day.
Heus, dude, they're oosing it like mad. It's awesome.
I love it.
I mean, I've said it before. I love that they actually have depth as wrestlers, right? Yeah. That it's not just we're playing up the Samoan gimmick. Hooray, we've got face paint. It's no, they're legit
badasses.
Yeah.
Badasses.
I like it, and that's why I'm well, man, fit them with Roman and all that.
Samoan SWAT team.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be anything with Roman that is different than what he's doing now is immensely better.
Yeah.
So I can finish the thought on the women's match.
Sure. Which women's match?
The women's match.
Okay.
The triple threat match.
Poor Alexa.
So
there's
we said it's going to be. I feel like we're all either hoping or fairly certain that this is the return of heel Sasha.
I think so.
I think it'll be the Raw after, but yeah.
So all right, I feel like it's the Raw after if she loses.
So idea. Mm-hmm. They broke the streak for Charlotte at the last pay-per-view. We're all pissed about it, right?
Right.
Charlotte wins Mania. She starts a Mania streak.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
What do you mean by Mania streak?
Like she always wins at Mania.
Like the Taker streak.
Right.
Okay.
Holy shit.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool.
That would be really cool because it's like you don't have a woman who's done that. Like, and Charlotte has basically done everything that hasn't been done before.
That's kind of cool.
That would be cool. And then you've got your plan for the next 19 years, so that's great.
Right? No, that's great. It's like
she's young enough. So
no, the other awesome thing. I'm totally stealing this idea from my husband, but he had said it, and I was like, man, I really fucking want this. This is the most heel fucking thing you could do. Announce Charlotte as a member of the Hall of Fame while she's on the roster, because she's that good.
That'd be pretty awesome.
She's the queen.
Yeah.
So she goes. She's a member of the Hall of Fame, and then she's still wrestling on the show.
And then announce it 2 more
Wouldn't that be
times
awesome?
so that she has more than her father.
Right.
She could be a 3-time Hall of Famer.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, like
weird ass.
it'd be really cool, right? Like there's crazy shit you could do with Charlotte just because she's so good as a heel.
I love the Undertaker idea or the WrestleMania streak idea.
Yeah, the Charlotte is the female Undertaker.
I also like the idea that WWE would actually not be sexist and allow that to happen, because do they ever even have women wrestlers over the age of 40? Whereas we have these decrepit old men shitting their pants in the ring.
Well, like to say that like women don't do this, like Charlotte has the longest winning pay-per-view streak ever.
Yeah. Right.
Like men or women. It's not just like a women thing. Like
there is a woman who did all of this.
Fabulous Moolah.
Mae Young.
Yeah. No.
Mae Young.
Yeah. Fabulous Moolah legitimately did this for decades. And kicked everybody's ass.
Before TV, for the most
Before
part.
TV, yes.
See, that's like when people, talk about shit from the 1800s in relation to the current government. Like, it just doesn't matter. Okay. So,
the context is totally different, guys.
Let me tell you about
Club versus Enzo and Cass, presumably. / already confirmed.
I mean, Enzo and Cass are going to get a huge pop. This is their first WrestleMania. The entrance is going to be crazy because they're going to have, like nearly hundreds of thousands of people.
And New Day isn't in...
New Day is not on the card.
Yeah.
So. New Day is hosting WrestleMania. Yeah. So, and we know how hosting goes when you're at the Superdome.
Right.
Yeah. Silver Dome. By Redacted.
The Pontiac Dome.
Excellent.
Pontiac Dome. It's like the fucking WrestleMania, like, cat asshole. Like, is that what this year?
Yeah, I think Enzo and Cass will win. And that's good.
Kind of.
And whatever. I actually want to interject the list that we have here and just ask sort of the broader question, when do you guys think a redraft will happen? And is Raw after WrestleMania a time that it can maybe happen?
No.
I think a redraft will happen in 2 months.
Like a calendar year after
They
the
have
original?
a lull about 2 months after Mania because there's that initial excitement of cool, Mania's there, and then it sort of teeters off, and then once they start building towards SummerSlam, it picks back up.
Yeah, so
which is what they did this year. They did it right around the time that lull ended.
Because it creates this, oh my god, this guy can fight this guy, and then do it at SummerSlam.
Because you used to have the payback, which they might still have, which is now we have all these fallout from Mania. So it's they are very good now about continuing storylines past okay, Mania's over, let's start over, guys. It's like Kevin Owens and Jericho has been going on for 8 months.
Yeah.
It's it's going to keep going. It's not done in Mania.
With the ad-lib. Well, hold on, let's with the clock. All right, cool. Last ad-lib question before we get into the last two pieces here. I want one from each of you. Post-Mania storyline prediction.
Ooh, okay.
It could be any of them. Just one that you think where they think they can go.
I have the big one. I have a big one. It's gonna be this year. Is gonna be the year of a big faction, like old school big faction.
The Samoan SWAT team.
No. I always will predict Samoan SWAT.
You want the Nexus.
I want basically NWO, big Bullet Club, potentially the Wyatt family, the way they were supposed to do it.
Have you seen the new shirt that the club has?
No.
It's basically Bullet Club.
Oh, that's dope.
Like so this
is
this is actually like possible because Finn Balor's going to come back.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a redraft. And if AJ's not feuding with anyone, you can put him back on the roster that has Finn Balor and the club.
Yeah.
And you start doing that whole thing. And Kenny Omega's only signed a year long. Yeah, it's good, right? Ooh. Yeah, it looks good. Ray's gonna buy another wrestling.
Don't distract from you having to answer the question.
Ah, fuck. I mean, we know that Kenny Omega has only signed a year contract with New Japan Pro.
Yeah.
So they're probably trying to think about what's the long-term play here.
Yeah,
potentially.
That would be cool.
Okay, but what do you think?
What do I think? I think that what I want to see long-term is they need to have more women on the same roster.
Yeah.
Because like
just move them to one, maybe.
Potentially one, like the way that they do
Raw.
Like put the cruiserweights on SmackDown, put all the women on Raw.
Yeah.
Easy to split it, right?
And then you could do a women's tag team division.
Yes, which is what Ray has been asking for like a fucking year now,
yeah.
right? But
I feel like I asked for it, but cooler.
Right. So, so Alexa Bliss is basically fighting the entire every possible woman on the SmackDown roster, which could mean Eva Marie, could mean Naomi. If she's like good on time, going to have an awesome spot with Becky Lynch. We know that. So it's like, but it's like that's a possible match because there's only like 6 of them.
Right.
So and that's the problem we're running into is like storylines are going to run stagnant because who does Charlotte feud with after Bayley?
All right.
Nia Jax? Okay. How about after that? Alicia Fox? Sure. You need to have more women on the same roster.
All right, let's run down the where the fuck are they list.
Where
Because
are
we
they
know
now?
Triple H versus Seth will happen in some way, so whatever.
It will.
And
AJ,
that will build
Shane
towards,
McMahon.
That's the rumor is that AJ and Shane McMahon.
That's not going to be a good match.
I think it'll be great.
It's
Shane McMahon. Like, it's going to be lame, and then he's going to jump off of something, and it's going to be... It's at like a Florida college.
All right.
It's open air.
It's outdoor.
So
it's fucking outdoor.
I'm
like
just
those are
trying
the
to
worst.
think of like landmarks.
Having
like,
been to a
like,
WrestleMania,
Fenway Park, you jump off
right.
the monster. Or
no, so
right.
That would be dope.
Yeah. Having been to a WrestleMania that is an open air stadium, and having been to a WrestleMania that is a dome. Hands down, Dome WrestleMania is the best because it keeps all the sound in, and then when you're watching the recording, you hear all of the crazy shit that's happening. Whereas, like, watching back WrestleMania 31, The Rock, where he's doing his whole thing, you don't hear how loud we were.
Yeah.
It's insane. So I'm really excited about WrestleMania 34 because they're going back to New Orleans.
All right, so...
It's going to be awesome.
Braun's going to win the fake Rumble thing.
He's going to win the Andre the Giant battle because he's a giant. Giants can't lose.
We have
can't
both
throw a giant
Dean
over the top rope.
Corbin and Dean in the where the fuck is he?
I think the Dean and Corbin are going to end up being the Intercontinental. Like, that's kind of what they keep playing up.
Sami Zayn is going to sell some cool shit and lose in that Rumble match, probably.
Zayn is definitely... Whatever he's doing, Zayn is going to lose.
That's right.
Seriously, you cannot throw a giant over the top rope. That's why the Big Show always wins those battle royals.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
New fit Big Show is even harder to move.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's got muscles and stuff.
Does Shaq come back? Like...
Why not, man?
Like, potentially. Everything is on the table.
Big
like,
Shaq Diesel.
when WrestleMania itself could be like an 8-hour event, you can do fucking anything.
Yeah, so the other two people...
No. My one big prediction. We're actually going to get a fucking Flow Rider concert.
Oh, with Pitbull.
With Pitbull.
Fuck
and
yeah.
watch Money Lose, because it's in fucking Florida.
Florida?
Florida. You get it?
Holy shit, I just understood his name.
Congrats.
Yeah.
My storyline is I'll just like throw it all to Hope, man. That Roman Reigns story is gonna change somehow.
Hope so. What's Joe doing?
Joe's gonna
Triple H lackey.
Yeah, Triple H lackey,
so it's not
or
match.
lose in the Braun Strowman.
He's been around like a month.
Rumble.
Okay.
He's been around a month. It's like, man, whatever.
Yeah.
We can do it.
Okay.
All right, take us out, Ray.
Well, it looks like that'll about wrap it up for this week. If you like the podcast, you can find us on Twitter at OnTheHeelsWP and on Facebook.com/OnTheHeelsWP. You can find our podcast through lots of different services like iTunes, the SoundCloud, and YouTube.
Subscribe to the podcast, leave comments, give us a 5-star rating on iTunes, and of course, please tell your wrestling buddies about the podcast. Comment on our Facebook so I can tell you you're wrong. Message us, tweet us. Sorry, Ray's changing the script. We're recording it live. We're doing it live.
He's
people.
giving me a chance.
Message us, tweet us. Be sure to like and share.
Thank you for listening to On the Heels Wrestling Podcast on this special St. Patrick's Day inebriated edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get drunk.
Drink your Baileys straight from the bottle while playing Zelda on your Switches.
Not
but
sponsored.
then,
Not sponsored at all.
tune in next week where I'll continue. Oh, okay. Tune in next week where Ray will continue to be wrong
there we
about
go.
wrestling.
There you
Hold
go.
on, scroll down
Yeah.
more. What's the? Did we? I forgot.
I love
oh shit, that's right. Fucking, I'm stealing it. Is Miz?
The new CM Punk.
I at least finish the sentence. Yeah.
For the eternal question.
Pump? You said CM Pump. Big Papa CM Pump. Yeah. So I think it's a great eternal question.
I think it is.
Miz is he's on that trajectory, man.
We're falling apart.
All he needs is his own.
I'm drunk. It's St. Patrick's Day.
I'm drunk.
I'll do what I want.
Yeah. He
Miz
should be.
is the CM Punk with company approval.
So, second eternal question.
Oh shit.
Who wins in the UFC match, CM Punk or The Miz?
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
Yeah.
The Miz is an ass, so you can't punch him in the face.
Don't punch him in the face.
He's the money maker.
Yeah. She's got to film the Marine 6.
Straight to DVD.
Yep.
On the Heels Wrestling Podcast. Take a look what you